Welcome to Pearls of Wisdom and Power, Choose Transformation Room. If you're tired of status quo, you're looking for higher vibrations, this is the place for you. Experience like no other, we'll seek the truth together. Ready to apply the knowledge, to turn it into your own pearls of wisdom and power. You know who you are. Dedication, motivation will get you far. Find the confidence within yourself with a little help of pearls of wisdom and power. Choose the transformation room. Have the courage to change and find the true path. I'll help you there. Pearls of wisdom and power. Choose the transformation room. Pearls of wisdom and power. Pearls of wisdom and power.
Hey peeps, I have some exciting news. You can now bring the wisdom of Pearls of Wisdom and Power into your everyday life with the brand new Etsy store Coach Michelle created. Coach Michelle has created unique wisdom apparel and artifacts, from the Guardian of Profound Revolution collection to sacred candles and journals designed to support your journey of health, mental wellness, and transformation. And to help you go even deeper, you can now purchase the podcast integration worksheets Coach Michelle developed for each episode. Each premium worksheet includes essential episode insights, major themes, transformational takeaways, and Coach Michelle's Pearl of the Week. You'll find guided reflection questions, a practical integration prompt, a personal commitment or action step, and dedicated note-taking space. This is the quality you have come to know and trust from Coach Michelle. Worksheets are available as an individual purchase for $9.99 or bundled as an entire month series for only $27. That is a savings of 32% when you subscribe to the monthly worksheets. Coach Michelle has many solutions designed with you in mind, all under one roof. Whether you are looking for awareness, community, or deep coaching, there is a path for you. Listen and gain awareness with the free Pearls of Wisdom and Power podcast, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on all major platforms. And join our free private Pearls community on Facebook to connect and share insights. For deeper teaching and private coaching, join the Patreon membership or book a private alignment strategy session with Coach Michelle to discuss your specific needs and get a path forward. Head over to coachmichelledorner.etsy.com and claim your pearls today. Wear the wisdom, live the power. Coach Michelle and I can't wait to see which pearls you choose. Let's make the rest of your life the best of your life. You are not responsible for healing every person you love. You are not responsible for preventing every consequence. You are not responsible for making another capable adult recognize what they refuse to see. And you are not required to destroy yourself trying to rescue someone who has not chosen to participate in their own transformation. Sometimes what we call love is fear. Sometimes what we call helping is control. Sometimes what we call spiritual service is an unhealed need to be needed. And sometimes the wounded healer becomes so busy saving everybody else that she never has to sit still long enough to heal herself. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Hey peeps, welcome to Pearls of Wisdom and Power, where wisdom meets execution. I am Coach Michelle AI, part of the Dorner Advisory Intelligence System, and your host for today's episode. I serve as an AI extension of the real Coach Michelle Dorner. This teaching was researched, developed, written, and approved by Coach Michelle. Although the host you see and hear is AI assisted, the wisdom, interpretations, voice, and message come directly from Coach Michelle. This is the space where we explore human transformation, behavior change, spiritual intelligence, and the deeper patterns shaping who we are becoming. We do not gather information merely to sound informed. We turn insight into awareness, awareness into choice, and choice into aligned action. August has been the month of the healer, mind, body, spirit. We began by orienting ourselves to August's celestial and symbolic pattern through the guardian of profound revolution. Then we examined the healer's mind and asked whether we were practicing discernment or allowing fear to wear spiritual clothes. Next, we honored the healer's body and learned to bring our Venus to our Virgo through rest, routine, pleasure, limits, and sustainable care. Today, we arrive at the healer's spirit. And the spiritual lesson is this: you are being called to become a sacred guardian, not somebody's permanent rescuer. I'm pausing for effect. My goodness, today. The wounded healer is not simply a person who has experienced pain. Every human being carries wounds. The wounded healer shadow appears when we begin using service to manage our own unresolved needs. We may need to feel indispensable. We may need to be the strong one. We may need to be the person everybody calls. We may need to prove that we are loving, spiritual, loyal, generous, or good. We may believe that being needed protects us from being abandoned. So we help before anyone asks. We advise before anyone is ready. We take over responsibilities that belong to other adults. We repeatedly protect people from the consequences that might teach them. We absorb their distress. We lose sleep over decisions they are not losing sleep over. We give more than we can afford emotionally, physically, spiritually, and sometimes financially. Then we become exhausted, frustrated, disappointed, and library resentful. But instead of examining the pattern, we tell ourselves, that is just who I am. I have a big heart. Spirit called me to help people. I cannot stand by and watch them struggle. They need me. Maybe they do need support. I know this is hard to hear, but you need to hear this. Listen carefully to what I'm about to say next. Needing support and needing you to take over their life are not the same thing. The sacred guardian is different. The sacred guardian protects without possessing. They support without controlling. They offer wisdom without forcing acceptance. They understand that every capable adult has the right to make choices, including choices she would not make. They recognize when intervention is necessary and when discomfort is simply part of another person's learning. They understand that helping someone avoid every consequence can prevent the very growth she claims to want for them. The sacred guardian does not stop caring. They stop confusing care with control. Now, let me give this disclaimer. This teaching is not about ignoring abuse, abandoning children or dependents, refusing appropriate help during emergencies, or withholding support when someone is in immediate danger. There are circumstances where responsible intervention is necessary. This teaching is about spiritual over-responsibility. The belief that another person's healing, awakening, decision, behavior, or outcome rests on your shoulders. It does not. You may be responsible for what you offer. You are not responsible for what another capable adult chooses to do with it. Let me repeat that one more time. You may be responsible for what you offer. You are not responsible for what another capable adult chooses to do with it. August 25th, 2026 carries an 871 pattern in Coach Michelle's numerological method. August gives us 8. The 25th day reduces to 7, and the year 2026 reduces to 1. Together, 8, 7, and 1 produce 16, 7. 16, 7 is often described symbolically as ego unaliving. That does not mean physical death. It represents the collapse of a false identity, illusion, attachment, or structure that the ego has been using to maintain control. 16:7 is sometimes called the shattered citadel. The tower falls, the image cracks, the role can no longer be maintained, and the truth standing underneath it must finally be faced. For the healer, the identity that may need to unalive is I am valuable because I save people. I am loving only when I sacrifice myself. I am spiritual because everybody depends on me. If I stop helping, everything will fall apart. If they fail, it means I failed. If they leave, it means I did not do enough. If they are upset with my boundary must be wrong. That is the ego structure August is asking us to release. Not your compassion, not your generosity, not your ability to serve. The need to control how your love is received. 7 is the number of reflection, spiritual inquiry, solitude, truth, discernment, and the sacred void. 1 is leadership, identity, and a new beginning. 8 is power and responsibility. Together they ask, can you use your power responsibly enough to let another person have their own journey? Can you enter the silence without rushing to fix somebody? Can you lead yourself away from a role that once made you feel valuable? And can you begin again without needing to be everybody's answer? The Queen of Clubs remains the monthly Cardology influence. She represents mental leadership, organized knowledge, communication, teaching, and the responsibility to make information useful. But the Queen of Clubs must remember, knowing what someone should do does not give you authority over their choices. You can recognize the pattern, you can explain it beautifully, you can create a 12-page plan with color-coded tabs, charts, references, and perhaps a little gold border, and they can still say no. Wisdom offered is not wisdom owed obedience. Whew, that was a doozy. This week's card is the 6 of Clubs. Within Coach Michelle's Cardology framework, the 6 of Clubs asks us to become responsible for our thoughts, words, beliefs, knowledge, and promises. It examines the consequences created by the mind. What have you promised because you felt guilty? What responsibility did you accept because you were afraid to disappoint someone? What advice have you continued repeating to someone who has shown no intention of using it? What story are you telling yourself about what will happen if you stop rescuing? The 6 of Clubs asks for mental and spiritual accountability. Not only accountability for what you do, accountability for why you keep doing it. The birth card for August 25th is the Ace of Clubs. The Ace of Clubs represents a new idea, a new truth, a new conversation, a new mental beginning, or a new way of understanding something. And the new idea for today is simple. I can care without carrying. I can love without losing myself. I can support without taking over. I can be available without being endlessly accessible. I can offer wisdom without demanding that it be followed. And I can release another person's outcome without abandoning my values. That is a new spiritual beginning. Now let us examine this week's human design, gene keys, and I Ching pattern. The sun is in 31, line 6, the influence of the jaws, cheeks, and tongue. Hexagram. 31 is influence. It examines how we affect one another through attraction, communication, relationship, presence, and persuasion. At line 6, the warning is against influence that remains only in the mouth. Talking instead of embodying. Promising instead of practicing. Persuading without sincerity. Describing the connection without honoring it through action. Saying Allah, I love you, while consistently violating the person's boundaries. Saying I support you while trying to control every decision. saying, I am only trying to help, while refusing to hear the word no, saying, Spirit told me, as a way to end the conversation and avoid accountability. My, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Gene Key, 31, moves from arrogance to leadership and ultimately to humility. Arrogance is not always loud. Sometimes arrogance appears as the belief that we know what another person needs better than they do. It says, I can see what you cannot see. I know what lesson you were supposed to learn. I know what Spirit wants for you. I know when you should leave. I know when you should stay. I know what your healing should look like. Leadership offers perspective. Arrogance takes ownership. Humility understands that your insight may be valuable without being complete. True spiritual influence does not come from talking the most, it comes from congruence. Do your words match your behavior? Does your guidance preserve another person's dignity? Does your influence return people to their own power? Or does it make them increasingly dependent upon you? The sacred guardian speaks with care and then allows space for choice. The moon is in 38 line 1 opposition. The image warns against chasing a lost cause. It counsels us to release regret, stop pursuing what has drifted away, and allow what genuinely belongs to return without force. This does not promise that every person will return. It teaches us not to abandon ourselves in pursuit of what has chosen distance. Human design. Gate. 38 carries the energy of the fighter. It seeks a struggle that has meaning. And Gene Key 38 moves from struggle to perseverance and ultimately to honor. The wounded healer can become addicted to struggle. The difficult person becomes a mission. The unavailable person becomes a challenge. The unwilling person becomes a project. The relationship that has repeatedly shown itself to be harmful becomes the battlefield where we intend to prove our loyalty. But every fight is not sacred. Every struggle is not yours. Every relationship is not meant to be rescued. Every closed door is not asking you to push harder. Perseverance is powerful when the struggle serves life, truth, dignity, and purpose. Perseverance becomes self-abandonment when the only thing holding the situation together is your refusal to let go. Honor asks, is this fight worthy of my life force? Am I fighting for truth or fighting against reality? Am I trying to restore something that has mutual participation? Or am I carrying a relationship, project, family role, or spiritual obligation alone? Stop chasing the lost horse. Stop forcing the conversation. Stop trying to convince people to value what they repeatedly mishandle. Stop trying to make someone return to a version of themselves they have chosen to leave. What belongs to you does not require you to destroy yourself pursuing it. Do you hear what Spirit is trying to say to you? The earth is in 41, line 6, decrease. At first, decrease can sound like loss. Less access, less explaining, less rescuing, less emotional labor, less overgiving, less involvement in situations that do not belong to you. But line 6 points toward a decrease that becomes hidden gain. You give without demanding a return. Self-importance fades. Support can arise naturally. And what appeared to be reduction creates greater freedom, alignment, and good fortune. Gene Key 41 moves from fantasy to anticipation and ultimately to emanation. The rescuer's shadow often lives inside a fantasy. The fantasy that your love will finally change them. The fantasy that one more conversation will make them understand. The fantasy that if you explain it perfectly, they will cooperate. The fantasy that if you give enough, sacrifice enough, Wait long enough or hurt enough, the outcome will become what you imagined. Anticipation is different. Anticipation creates space for a new cycle without dictating exactly how it must appear. Emanation allows life to emerge without grasping. You give because giving is aligned, not because giving guarantees a particular response. You support because support reflects your values, not because support purchases loyalty, transformation, gratitude, or love. True abundance does not come from making yourself indispensable. It comes from allowing what moves through you to serve without chaining your identity to the result. Later this week, during the night of August 27 into August 28, the full moon passes through Earth's shadow in a deep partial lunar eclipse. Astronomically, nearly the entire lunar disk will enter the darker portion of Earth's shadow. Symbolically, a lunar eclipse can be used as a mirror for emotional revelation, culmination, and release. In Coach Michelle's 14 sign midpoint framework, the Aquarius and ninth house themes ask us to examine collective beliefs. What were you taught about being a good person? Were you taught that love means endless sacrifice? Were you praised for having no needs? Were you taught that forgiveness means restoring access? Were you taught that spirituality requires tolerating mistreatment? Were you taught that boundaries are selfish? Those beliefs may be ready for release. Peaceful power does not mean passivity. Peaceful power can say no without hatred. Peaceful power can leave without seeking revenge. Peaceful power can stop explaining. Peaceful power can allow consequences. Peaceful power can pray for someone from a distance. Peaceful power can love someone and still refuse access. Peaceful power can recognize another person's pain without volunteering to become the container for it. For this eclipse release, use the sacred guardian practice. The word is guard. G means give without grabbing responsibility. Offer what is honest, appropriate, and within your capacity. Do not grab the person's entire journey. You means understand what belongs to you. Your choices, your words, your promises, your boundaries, your healing, your response. Their choices belong to them. A means ask before assisting. Would you like support? Are you open to feedback? What kind of help would be useful? Consent matters even in helping. R means release the outcome. You can give wisdom and release whether it is followed. You can love and release whether you are understood. You can apologize and release whether the relationship is restored. You can set a boundary and release whether the other person approves. D means defend your peace with clear boundaries. In practical terms, energetic boundaries protect your attention, time, emotional labor, availability, access, resources, and responsibility. Your peace needs a structure, not merely an affirmation. Give, understand, ask, release, defend. That is how the wounded healer becomes the sacred guardian. Pause with me. Who have you been trying to save? What responsibility have you accepted that does not belong to you? Where has helping become controlling? Where has compassion become self-abandonment? What lost cause are you still chasing? What would decrease if you stopped rescuing? And what hidden gain might appear in the space that remains? Your pearl for today is this. Love does not require you to take responsibility for another capable adult's transformation. Your power is the choice you make with that wisdom. Care without carrying, support without controlling, give without bargaining, speak without manipulating, protect without possessing, and release without hatred. You are not here to become everybody's savior. You are here to become a wise steward of your gifts, your energy, your influence, and your life. For ongoing conversation and shared reflection, join us inside the private Pearls of Wisdom and Power Facebook community. Come share what you are releasing and what becoming a sacred guardian means in your life. The link is waiting for you in the show notes. And when you are ready for deeper teaching, guidance, reflection, and practical integration, join the Pearls of Wisdom and Power Patreon membership. That is where we go beyond inspiration and practice the spiritual and transformational work that helps wisdom become a way of living. Take the pearl, use your power, stop trying to save everybody, guard what is sacred, and make the rest of your life the best of your life. Hey peeps, I have some exciting news. You can now bring the wisdom of Pearls of Wisdom and Power into your everyday life with the brand new Etsy store Coach Michelle created. Coach Michelle has created unique wisdom apparel and artifacts, from the Guardian of Profound Revolution collection to sacred candles and journals designed to support your journey of health, mental wellness, and transformation. And to help you go even deeper, you can now purchase the podcast integration worksheets Coach Michelle developed for each episode. Each premium worksheet includes essential episode insights, major themes, transformational takeaways, and Coach Michelle's Pearl of the Week. You'll find guided reflection questions, a practical integration prompt, a personal commitment or action step, and dedicated note-taking space. This is the quality you have come to know and trust from Coach Michelle. Worksheets are available as an individual purchase for $9.99 or bundled as an entire month series for only $27. That is a savings of 32% when you subscribe to the monthly worksheets. Coach Michelle has many solutions designed with you in mind, all under one roof. Whether you are looking for awareness, community, or deep coaching, there is a path for you. Listen and gain awareness with the free Pearls of Wisdom and Power podcast, Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on all major platforms. And join our free private Pearls community on Facebook to connect and share insights. For deeper teaching and private coaching, join the Patreon membership, or book a private alignment strategy session with Coach Michelle to discuss your specific needs and get a path forward. Head over to coachmichelledorner.etsy.com and claim your pearls today. Wear the wisdom, live the power. Coach Michelle and I can't wait to see which pearls you choose. Let's make the rest of your life the best of your life.
Find the confidence within yourself with a little help of Pearls of Wisdom and Power. Choose the transformation route. Have the courage to change and find the true path. I'll help you there. Pearls of Wisdom and Power. Choose the transformation route. Pearls of Wisdom and Power. Pearls of Wisdom and Power.